What's going on, everyone? D-Fish Keeper here, and I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas because I sure did. If you guys didn't notice already, because it's already been like 2 seconds into the video,
I cut the mustache.
But anyways, guys, I just kind of wanted to do a really quick video on my Axolotl. I ordered this fan and it just came in, so this is going to be kind of like an unboxing type of video, as well as a little bit of the care for the Axolotl. Well, as some of you may not know, some people may not know, but these guys really need cold water. Around 60 to about 65 degrees would be pretty ideal for these guys, and I live in Florida, so it is freaking hot down here. Luckily, I bought this guy pretty much in the winter time, so it's pretty chilly outside. It's been about like 65 outside, so it's been pretty cold in here as well, because my wife likes it cold. 65 is probably not cold to you guys if you live up north, but anyways, so I went ahead and ordered this while I could before it got too warm outside. We can see how far this brings the temperature down in the tank. The temperature is probably at around like, give it about like 65 degrees, just about. That's what it says in the house, so the water might be a little bit cooler, but anyways, guys, here is the fan right here. Go ahead and get ready to put this thing together on the tank. Came with the whole entire fan compartment, as well as the plug-in cord to plug it up, and that was it. And here's the fan, the brand that I'm using. I got it off of Amazon. I will leave a link in the description just so you guys can kind of get one if you need one. It's really a lot cheaper than buying a chiller, because chillers are expensive. I looked online, those things were like $200. It's really expensive for something that, I mean, you need, but you don't need at the same time. Does that make sense? But anyways, let's go ahead and get this together. Alrighty, so here we have it right here. Got two little screw-on pieces to screw it onto the tank. Go ahead and take this out.
How many twists does it take to get to the bottom of a twisty tie?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So I'm guessing this hooks onto this little rim right here, so it's looking like I'm gonna have to go and move the top around just a little bit. Oh no! It dropped in the tank. Ah! Don't eat it! Don't eat it! No! Ah! Okay. Retry. Alright, let's try this again. Okay. Okay, I got this. Can you move this? Wow. Okay. Alright, guys. I'm not the smartest cookie in the jar. Okay, that makes it a lot easier. We just ran into our second issue. This piece of the rim right here. Alright. This piece of the rim, like right here, is having trouble bolting in. This is a little bit too tall. Alright, guys, so the issue that we're having right now is, if you can see right there, the bolt is just a little bit too high up to attach to the actual rim of the tank itself. So it would probably work on a tank that's a little bit bigger. So let's go and see if this will work on my 30 gallon. Alright, guys, so I got the 30 gallon in this closet right here. Yeah, I'm the king of hoarding and pack rat stuff. Let's see how this fits on the 30 gal, because this is where Mudkip will be going, so this will be his new home eventually. Let's see if we can get this on here. Alright, seems to fit. Yeah, it's sitting pretty decently on the 30 gallon tank, so that's not too big of an issue. I am the king of making things work. So we're just gonna have to go ahead and make this work. Alright, guys, so as you just saw, it fit on the 30 gallon pretty nicely. Mudkip is only gonna be in here temporarily until he gets big enough to the point where I think he needs to go into the 30 gallon. So for right now, what we're gonna do is I have slid the top to the tank over just a little bit, just enough that the light is still shining in here, and that I can kind of take the light and sit it so it's securely resting on the top lid of the tank. have it just sitting kind of like this. It doesn't really move at all, as you can see here. It's going to take a lot of pushing it in order to get it to actually go in here and fall into the tank. So I'm pretty sure that's not going to fall into the tank. So now that I have it like that, what I'm going to do is go ahead and plug this up and see how the fan runs. Right here it has a 2 setting fan feature, whereas if you press the 2 lines, not too much power, and then right here is full force. Yeah, flowing pretty hard, so we're gonna go ahead and sit this above the tank. And what is also awesome about this is it gives extra surface agitation. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that really quick right now. It gives extra surface agitation, which is awesome. So it pretty much aerates your water for you as well. It's giving a lot more surface agitation up there on the top of my tank. Really, really nice, and I'm pretty sure he's going to end up loving that. It's not really giving too much flow in the bottom end of the water where he's chilling, which is down here. So I also get a lot of questions from friends and family, like, what is that thing? Is it a lizard, or is it a fish, or is it a lizard? Well, to answer that question, Mudkip is indeed a salamander. He comes from the salamander family. They start out as tadpoles and metamorphosize into what we know as the axolotl. So they also can kind of be related to both, really. These guys spend their entire lives underwater. So to answer the question of whether or not these guys can actually come out of the water is no. These things right here on top of his head are actually his gills. And this is also another reason as to why these guys cannot be tanked with any other species other than other axolotls, is because fish will tend to nibble on this, especially if the fish is hungry or just curious. They tend to nibble on this, and it really, really stresses the axolotl out and could end up to it dying, which is really, really not a good thing. Now we can get to my favorite part, which is the feeding. My wife, she's not too thrilled about where I have what this guy eats at, but these guys eat worms. So I keep the worms inside the fridge because you got to keep them in a cool place. And my wife was really, really not thrilled about this. But they are covered up and they can't get out because they don't have legs or hands or anything that they can push it up with. But if I do leave the lid a little open, they might be able to tap it out. They've done that on the counter before and got all over the place. It's crazy. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys some feeding of these guys. So if you do not want to see the video of me feeding them, probably skip like 30 seconds or a minute, or just skip the whole rest of the video, whatever helps with you. I'm gonna go ahead and feed these guys, so let's get to it. Alrighty, so these are the worms right here. Kind of got to dig around for them. Since I do a lot of fishing, it really doesn't bother me to just go ahead and touch them. So I use these guys for bait sometimes. And here's one right here. So what I do is I grab whichever worm, the worm of my choice basically, out of the tank. I dip him in this water right here so I can get all the dirt and stuff off of him, because you don't want that in your tank at all. So dirty your tank up more than it already is with the axolotl, because these guys are pretty dirty eaters and poop all over the place. Alright, so once you got the worm wet and whatnot, then you can go ahead and cut him with the scissors, which is right here, and feed him to your axolotl. So for a little guy like Mudkip, I usually cut him a really small piece of the worm up because I can't really give him the whole worm, obviously. And look, he sees it already. He's like, bro, hurry up, stop doing the video and just feed me. Like, I want this. Food. But anyways, what I do with that is, yep, there he is. He already knows what time it is. Yeah, bro, it's time to eat. But what I do with that is I go ahead and cut it really small for him because he can't eat really big pieces. And drop this in here and pretty much let him do his thing. Yeah, he's a little feisty, which I really, really like that because it's like awesome. He's like one of my most aggressive pets, but he looks so sweet at the same time. Sometimes I think I might have given him a piece that's a little bit too big, but he ends up getting it eventually. Chops it down. It's kind of like a lizard, and like Well, yeah, he's kind of like a snake is what I meant to say. He's kind of like a snake with the way he eats stuff. He'll just like gobble it up and pretty much swallow it until he gets it down. It's a happy axolotl. So usually with like the rest of the worm, I end up just giving it the Frank. So he's right here. He already knows what time it is too. These guys are pretty much on like a schedule. Yeah, I just give it to him. If he doesn't get it, he usually sinks down here to the bottom, and this guy this guy picks it up right here. He takes off with it. One last tip that I would like to give on these guys is please do your research. I cannot press that enough. Do your research before getting any pet, pretty much. And with these guys, they really need either no substrate at all or really fine sand so that it can pass through, because as you can see, when I just fed him, he'll eat whatever is on the ground next to it too. He'll just gobble it all up
and just scoop it up like a dump truck.
So you really don't want gravel in the tank because he cannot pass that through his digestive system. But other than that, that's all I wanted to give for information on the care with these guys. The fan is working awesome. Again, I'll leave the link to the fan in the description for anyone else who has an axolotl or has a tank that they're just trying to cool in general. But anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. If you like my content, leave a comment. If you do, you can subscribe. If not, then that's cool too. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching my video. This is D Fish Keeper signing out.